like a Hellcat.
What's up, you guys? It's Sir Scrub here, bringing you some more Scrub Tier Yu-Gi-Oh! And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my April 2020 ban list predictions for the Master Rule 5 format. But before we get into today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure to check out all the different ways you can support the channel in the description. And another thing you need to check the description for is my brand new second quote-unquote channel, the Coalition of Scrubs. I have joined forces with several other Yugitubers in order to create a cross-creator platform in order for us to all share publicity with one another. This is good for us as content creators, we get more viewers, blah 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 blah. But for you guys, this is a fantastic way for me to be able to introduce you to some of my absolute bestest Yugituber friends, so you can check out their channels. They're all amazing people. They do fantastic jobs on their content. Link to the Coalition will be in the description, and the Coalition will have links to all of their channels on it. So be sure you do that. It is something that's really, really cool. Today, the day I'm uploading this video, is the first day we are going live as the Coalition. You can find our intro video over there. But with all that junk out of the way, let's go and jump both feet into today's video, starting off with our banned cards. Now, I'm going to preemptively say, before I talk about this first banned card, that I wanted to kill this deck. The very first banned card I have is Spiral Master Plan. Now, I faced a choice between banning this card or banning Double Helix, and I would much rather ban this card because of Magician Souls. I don't see Konami going after Magician Souls this soon into Soul's lifetime. I do think that card is going to end up on the ban list. I just don't see Konami hitting it right away. And the best way to really check Spiral is to check Master Plan. Now, I know some people would rather see this card limited because they want the deck still semi-playable. I do not. This is the second Spiral format I've had to live through. I don't like this deck. I've never really liked this deck, and I would love it if Konami just killed it off and just banned Master Plan, and that's done. The next card that I have on my banned section is Blackwing Steam the Cloak. This is for Needle Fiber. For those of you that don't know, this card and Needle Fiber are absurd in the same format together. The next card that I have banned is Millenniumize Restrict. Now, this is the whole Millenniumize Instant Fusion debate, so I'm just going to run down real quick why I feel Millenniumize is the correct hit instead of Instant Fusion. Firstly, nobody was talking about banning Instant Fusion until Millenniumize came along. Everybody was okay with Instant Fusion until this card existed, and they were even okay with this card being in the format until Master Rule 5 became a thing, and they're absolutely right. Having Instant Fusion being an extender and a Call by the Grave is absolutely absurd, so I think we need to take away the problem, which is Millenniumize. Now, an argument could be made to where if you ban Instant Fusion, Millenniumize isn't a problem anymore, and that's 100% true. The key difference being in the fact that Instant Fusion has so many more other applications than just for Millenniumize, that I don't think that we should cut off all of those lines of play just for this one problem card, because in my opinion, Millenniumize is the problem. And our final banned card is Mystic Mine. I don't think I need to explain why this card should be banned. It's skill drain and an attack blocker in a field spell for some reason. It's absurd. This card is ridiculous and it needs to go. But that's all I have for the banned cards. I really don't like to ban a whole lot of things. I have a much larger limited list. So moving into the limited cards, now this is in no particular order. I just kind of threw these cards up here as they came up off the top of my head. So we're going to bounce from all different card types. So just bear with me. You guys know I'm schizophrenic. So starting off with our first limited card is Saryuja Skull Dread. This card has needed to go to 1 for like the last 3 or 4 ban lists. I don't know how it keeps dodging, but until it gets limited, I'm going to keep preaching that it needs to get limited, and even more so in Master Rule 5. The next card I want to talk about being limited is Galatea the Orcust Automaton. Mech Knight Orcust Gearsu is coming out soon. This deck is going to be friggin' absurd if we don't start hitting it more. I considered banning some cards, but I think for now, limiting Galatea is probably going to be the best way to go forward until we see how the deck evolves once Gearsu is released. And then the next two hits are kind of go hand in hand, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, and TG Hyper Librarian. I think everybody knows these cards needs to go back to 1 just because synchro looping. With Trish, you can hand loop your opponent's entire hand out of their deck, or entire hand out of their hand, rather, and it banishes, so you can't even float most of the time. And then TG Hyper Librarian, if you're playing a synchro spam deck, you're going to draw through your whole deck turn 1. The next limited card I have is Makiura the Destructor. We know this card just got an errata over in the OCG to make it 1 trap per turn. So this card, yeah, it's going to come back to 1. It went to 1 over there. It's going to come back to 1 over here. This card could go back to 3, and it still wouldn't matter in my opinion. The next card I have on here is Magical Meltdown. This is specifically for Shaddoll Invoked. I really didn't know the best way to approach this deck because they just got Construct back, so I'm not trying to hit Construct. But Magical Meltdown is a little bit absurd. Preventing your opponent from being able to respond to your fusion summons is stupid powerful in a fusion deck. Beyond that, this also makes it to where instead of having 6 copies of Alistair, they now have 5. I can see this card one day end up being banned. The next card we have on the list is Glow Up Bulb. This is a needle fiber hit. I don't want to see this card banned. I think this card is fantastic. It's got a once per duel restriction on its resummon effect. I just think that you shouldn't be able to do it all the time for needle fiber. Then we have some cards coming back off the list, starting with Double Iris Magician. Pendulums need some love. They're not getting really any real boost from the Master Rule change, so I think giving them back Double Iris, especially just to 1, wouldn't be that big a deal. Then we have Blaster Dragon Rulers of Infernos. I think the community has pretty much come to a consensus that this is the weakest of the banned Dragon Rulers, so let's bring them back. Let's start bringing them back slowly. Yes, it's a powerful archetype, but I want to see a lot of things come off the ban list. I don't think that this game should have a huge ban list, and the Dragon Rulers are part of that. And our final limited card is Harpy's Feather Duster. I feel like this card could have come back 4 or 5 different ban lists from now. It's just Konami seems to be dragging their feet on this card. That's it for the limited section. Let's move into the semi-limited section, starting off with Destiny Hero Malicious. I think we all know that this card needs to go back to 2. This card at 3 is ridiculous, especially after the Master Rule change. Mali needs to go back to 2. This is a no-brainer. Next, we have Pantheism of the Monarchs. I feel like this card could come back to 3, but that's not Konami's style. Generally, they like to slowly take things off, so I would like to see Pantheism come back to 2. Monarchs are a dead deck without this card. It doesn't matter how many copies of Ether they have. If they can't draw into their cards, they can't draw into their cards. So, give the Monarch players Pantheism back. Next, we have Pot of Avarice. This card could really come to 3, but it is the same thing with Pantheism. I think they're just going to slowly wean it off. It's a fantastic card in the grind game, but like if you open it in your opening 5 cards, it's a brick. So it's got that really weird dynamic, and I don't think having multiple copies of it is going to be a problem. And then my final semi-limited card is True King's Return. True Draco just got hit pretty heavily on the last ban list, limiting Diagram. And the deck is really at this weird unplayable limbo, so giving it a second copy of Return isn't going to break the deck. It's not going to make it meta anymore, but it's certainly going to make them feel a little better than they are right now, and basically complete unplayability. Now, onto the cards that have been released from this list, in my opinion. I only have 3, because these are the only 3 that I really thought of that could come back to 3 with no issues. Well, I say no issues softly. The first one is Trickstar Light Stage. Light Stage is a fantastic card, but now that Sky Strikers are dead, I really don't see why this card is still limited. Nightmare Mermaid's dead, so you can't use it in Orchest. Sky Strikers are dead, so you can't play Sky Striker Trickstar, so just let the Trickstar players play Trickstars again. Then we have Night Assailant. This is a card that is for some reason limited. It's a flip effect monster. It's slow, it's bad, and I don't see why this card's on the ban list, so let it come back. And then the big controversial card for me, I say Max C should come back to 3. We're moving into a format where the floodgates of Master Rule 4 have been completely removed on all of the old decks, and we need another combo deck check. And I think Max C is the best check to combo decks this game has ever seen. And if you're going to open the floodgates, you might as well open all the floodgates. But that's all I've got for this video, you guys. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And if you do want to see more creative videos from me, please be sure to check out the description with all the different ways you can support the channel, and make sure you check out the Coalition of Scrubs and all my friends over there. But most importantly, don't forget, be a scrub. Peace.